Super Cool Radio is making our debut here in Joliet, Illinois. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, as always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you probably can hear in the background, I'm on historic Route 66 here in Joliet, Illinois. I picked up a killer Boston Shake from Rich and Creamy. Oh, that is delicious. They have a huge selection of amazing frozen treats. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop by and check them out. I am here because I'm doing press for a killer show at the Forge. It will be Saliva, Drowning Pool, Adelitas Way, and Any Given Sin. They'll be rocking the stage at the Forge. I can't wait. But before we get to the Forge, I wanted to stop by and take in the sights and attractions here in Joliet, Illinois. As you said, I got some ice cream. I've been checking out this historic city. It's been amazing. And we got two great interviews coming up in this episode. I'll be chatting with Saliva and Drowning Pool, so stay tuned for all of that. And before we dive further in this video, please like this video, hit subscribe, and make sure to turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any new videos from Super Cool Radio. So with all that out of the way, let's dive into this video.
Super Cool Radio.
I have an incredible guest joining me at this time. Currently, Drowning Pool is on a co-headline tour with Saliva. Please welcome the lead vocalist of Drowning Pool, Ryan McCombs.
Hello, thank you for having me.
It's incredible to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much. And my first time seeing Drowning Pool, and I'm interviewing you. It's going to be a great day.
Cool. I hope so. We don't disappoint. This tour has been a fun one, man. It's every night the crowds have been awesome. So it's been I think I feel pretty safe. You have a good time. I hope you do.
Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm curious for you. This is the first full length tour since you rejoined
Yes.
Drowning Pool. So how was it? Did you have to get back into the rhythm, or did you just kind of jump back into it?
We just jumped right back into it. We had so little time to
Think about
it. Really, yeah, absolutely. Because when we had the conversation about getting back together, there was shows like 2 weeks later already booked that they had booked before anything, and before conversation with me took place. So it was more like, do you want to get back together, and if so, we need to get together and do this real quick. So I flew in a few days before the first show, and we rehearsed a couple days and went and knocked it out. It was kind of weird, man. It was kind of like wearing an old comfy pair of shoes. I think we all just slid right back into it. It was good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it's very easy just to jump right back into it. And so, like for you, what have been like some of the highlights from the store?
I think it's nice that you just don't. It's been such a great turnout that in touring, especially in this day and age, and at this level, it's kind of like Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays are your prime days. And Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays can sometimes be thin. And there's just not thin shows on this tour. And that's cool to see. We had this past Sunday in Fort Wayne was off the hook. And then the following day, Monday, the District in
Detroit.
Thank you. Thank you for saving my rear there. In Detroit, again, a Sunday and a Monday night, it was like, it was great. It felt like Friday, Saturday night shows, and it was a friggin' Sunday, Monday. This tour has been full of that, though. It's been awesome.
Well, it's great that you guys get like the turnout and the response, and like having a killer show on a Monday. I mean, that's almost unheard of sometimes.
It is, and I think it's due to this package. You look at there isn't a weak point. The band has a history of the band Drowning Pool has done numerous shows with Adelitas Way, and they're a great band. And Saliva, it's Saliva. It's
really no explanation needed right. For Saliva.
And then this is my first time sharing the road with Any Given Sin, and I'm blown away by those guys. And I mean, they've got a hell of a buzz going for them. I say buzz. that seems like too little of a word. They got a hell of a thing going for them right now, and there's a reason why. It's because they're damn good. And so there's not a lull in the show. It's just a good night of music.
All 4 bands, I've seen Adelitas Way before. I have not seen Saliva yet, but again, I've heard a lot of people, who've interviewed, who I've talked to, say they always bring a killer show. I've heard a lot of great things about you guys and Any Given Sin. I'm excited for tonight because, again, it's a killer package of just nonstop. Just all 4 bands are bangers. It's going to be a good show.
It has been. It's been cool. It's been, I think, from the moment the music starts to the last. Us and Saliva have been interchanging. We flip flop nights of who closes each night, and it's funny because nobody wants to go on after the other. Like nobody.
You gotta top them, yeah.
Like Saliva and us are both like our favorite slots are the direct support slot, the slot right before the last band. So it's like that's kind of the coveted spot. So you look at it and be like, oh, we got close tonight. Wait, and it's funny because when you're a young band coming up through the ranks. You dream about being the headliner. And all of a sudden, Drowning Pool's been a headliner for a couple of decades now. But you're in a situation like this where you're with a band that brings it every night like Saliva. You don't want to go on after that. And they're the same way. They don't want to go on after it. So it's funny. We laugh about it and have a good time. But it is the truth at the same time.
So do you know who's headlining tonight at the Forge?
We are.
Oh, okay. So you got to follow Saliva.
Yeah. We're doing this one out of the grace of our heart because they were supposed to headline tonight. But they have a bunch of business people in town here that have to bug out at a certain time. So it wasn't going to work for them to headline. So we told them we made a deal though.
What's the deal?
I said the direct support slot right. There's no direct support because it's a co-headline tour. But the first of the co-headline slot is kind of like that preferred one. So we told them we'll do this. But we want that like that WWE Money in the Bank thing. We want to be able to
cash it in.
We said we're going to cash it in eventually, and we're going to get the same favor. But the key is that we get to have that and play that card at any point that we want, at any point in the day too. So like even if you're just getting ready to step on stage, boom, nope, we're on. So yeah.
So who's carrying the briefcase for right. You guys?
We're just messing with it, but it's both bands we're just having fun. There's a lot of fun out here. Fine.
Oh, it definitely sounds like, and I know, and when I talked to CJ for my interview, he was super excited for this tour. But so I'm curious for you. I know I asked CJ what his favorite song is to perform live, so I'm curious for you. Do you have a favorite Drowning Pool song to perform live?
Right now, I think it's Mute.
Oh, nice.
It's a song that I think people just don't expect to hear. The band hasn't played it since Dave was Dave was still with us. So it was when I brought it up because when we came back in, like I said, we only had a couple of weeks before the first show. So we went to, but we didn't have any choice really, but to rely kind of fall back on muscle memory as much as possible. Meaning that we kind of went back to the songs that I sang with the band. Meaning my era as well as the songs that we sang of Dave's era that I sang with the band. And then hopefully here as time progresses, we'll start adding in some of Jason's era and stuff like that. But so the set is predominantly the stuff that I did in the past, but we never did Mute. But so when we started jamming again, I lost myself there for a second. I apologize. But when we started jamming again, when we decided to do this, I was like, why don't we add Mute to it? Because I don't know why, but when I was listening to some of the other songs, just kind of reminding myself of the lyrics and stuff, I was listening to Mute, and I was like, man, that'd be a fun song to play. I love the groove of it and just that. So I'm digging Mute, and Tear Away is really cool, but it's really cool for me for a different, I know what Dave had in mind. I've heard, the guys have told me kind of Dave's perspective of that song and where it came from. But I have a completely different one, Dave being such a good friend. For me being up there singing his song, being the singer of a band that he helped birth with the other 3 guys, the lyrics mean so much different. It means so much. It means a lot. It's very different for me, but very powerful at the same time. Do I really want this? Sometimes I scare myself. I just can't let it go. there's so many. Yeah. So Tear Away and Mute, I think, are probably the songs I'm digging, doing the most right now.
That's right.
That was a very wordy answer.
No, but it was good that you got your perspective on it, and two killer songs, but also getting your perspective on singing those songs. It was unexpected for me. I wasn't sure what you were gonna say, so that was good. But so I'm curious. So you guys have been obviously touring with Saliva. Do you have a favorite Saliva song?
I've always liked and there's a reason behind it. I always like Welcome to the Show. And I'm not positive that's the name of the song. Great song. I mean, it's a good song. It's a hit because it's a good friggin' song. But for me, it's a memory thing because when I was a kid back home in Indiana, where I was born and raised, my dad used to watch like sprint racing and midget racing and stuff, not the little people. And I feel it was like Thursday night race. It was some off Tuesday, Friday. I don't know what it was, but the song, the intro, whatever that was that song by Saliva. So I've got that in my head 10, 15 years ago when the song came out. Yeah. I still watched it. I'd catch it every once in a while if I had a second to sit still, and that was the theme of it at that point in time. So gotcha. It's kind of that reminiscence of it being a subject matter that I shared with my dad, and then their song being involved with it years later.
No, that's really cool. Like the sentimental side of it, the connection you have to your own life. That was cool. That was cool. So you just got a few more things, and we wrapping this up because I know you have to get ready tonight. I'm looking forward to tonight. So I'm curious. So you're also the lead vocalist for Soil.
Yes.
Will we ever see like a tour with Drowning Pool and Soil?
No.
No?
We've toyed with ideas of how you could make it work, but the fact of the matter is my singing style is a lot of push, a lot of basically yelling in key. So it's just being honest. There's no way I could give a night in and night out performance that would do both bands justice. And because I love the idea when we first started thinking about it, I was like, hell yeah, that'd be cool. But then it was like, there's no way with the singing style that I have, I'm very limited in what I do. And it's a lot of just power driven. There's no way I could do an hour something of Soil and then do an hour something of Drowning Pool without the Drowning Pool set suffering because of it, or vice versa. Whatever band played second in that situation, their set would suffer because of just the taxing that my voice would take to get to that point. So it wouldn't do the fan base justice because we wouldn't be able to deliver the songs the way that we would want to.
No, I got you. I definitely understand with like the mechanics and logistics of all that, and obviously for your voice that you want to obviously make both fan bases leave it satisfied. So I completely understand that. I was just curious. That's why I asked.
No, it's something that it's a good question because it's something that comes up a lot on social media. Fans ask it a lot, and it's something that we've talked about quite a bit. But we just haven't came up with a solution that would work.
No, I got you. I know I saw that a lot when they announced that when you rejoined Drowning Pool, people were like, oh, you guys are going to tour together. So I was just curious.
Yeah, regretfully, there's no strings or drum heads or anything like that change when it comes to the throat. When the throat starts getting tired, there's no quick fix.
Yeah, you can't quick change anything in your vocal cords. No. It'd be something, but not possible. All right, so last thing, and then we'll talk about the future plans for Drowning Pool. So I'm curious for you, since obviously you have a very extensive music career, obviously with Drowning Pool and Soil. What have been like some of your favorite moments from your music career so far?
Somebody, and I apologize to jump into this, but I was thinking about this the other day, regardless of thinking about it, and there are two, because there's way too many at the end of the day, because I've been blessed to have the length of career that I've had because people have taken the time out of their lives and given me the time of day to allow me to do it. So I've when you think about the years and the amount of shows, there's been so many amazing moments, funny, wow moments. But I think if I had to pick two, it would be, one would be having the opportunity to do like the USO and MWR. There's so many, I don't want to leave anybody out, so we'll stop right there. There's so many different military associated entertainment based companies out there that bring entertainment to the troops around the world, and being involved with them, being able to do shows like in Iraq a couple times, Germany, so many different places around the world, playing at military bases for these things, taking a piece of home to the troops that are overseas, as well as playing I also enjoyed the military bases that we've done here stateside, but those moments where you get to take the music, take a little piece of home to the troops that are overseas, those are unforgettable moments, especially when you're talking about being in like a war zone, and those men and women may not be into metal. They may be in the country, they may be in the folk, they may be in the rap, who knows. But at that moment, they're all really into whatever it is that they're watching, because they're just not having to worry about being shot at or shooting at somebody else. They're in their head. They're just at home at a rock show, and you see it in their eyes. That's an amazing thing to be a part of. The other thing would be, and those shows were all so far, all the military stuff I've done has been through with Drowning Pool and everything. But another moment would be a solo related moment, and it was the first time that I did a show in England. And my dad, who was such a big force in my life, he raised me on the British invasion music, the Who and Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones and just on and on and on and on. But so I've always been very aware of just the history of music with England and Britain in general, the UK in general. So for me, it wasn't so much the show, which was awesome, but it was landing. It was flying into England that very first time and looking out the airplane window and seeing the lights of London. It was nighttime, and seeing the lights of London below. I got like emotional, because it was just like, it was that moment of just, how did this flat billy, because there's no hills in Indiana, as you know, how this flat billy from Indiana, from a town of 3,000 people, how did I get here? How did this happen? And just that surreal moment of just how lucky and wow. It's such a wow moment for me in my career.
Those are two definitely incredible moments. I appreciate you sharing. I've heard CJ said you guys are going to go back overseas, I believe, with Drowning Pool, or did you already do that? Or is that coming up?
Yeah, I'm just not sure he's allowed to talk about it.
Oh, okay. He said that in the last interview. Well, all right. I will stop there with that.
Yeah. If it's the one I'm thinking that you're talking about, I don't think we're allowed to talk about that.
Okay. Well, hey, we're going to stop right there with that stuff. Right. But last thing, and then obviously I know you have to get ready, and I have my things I have to take care of today. So last thing, what is like early 2024 looking like for Drowning Pool? Will we hear some new music from you guys? Definitely hear some new music. If not before 2024, then definitely early 2024. We have some really killer stuff lined up. Us getting back together caused kind of a stir, and definitely some offers have come about that we haven't seen the likes of in a while. So there's going to be a lot of really cool announcements coming up in the next few months, as we are allowed to announce them. And it's going to be a very cool 2024, and definitely new music. As soon as I got back with the guys, it just, CJ and Stevie just seemed all of a sudden get reinvigorated, and the new music started flying. And I've been wanting to write for years. I've been missing writing. So we're just going 1,000 miles an hour on it right now, having fun. Well, I'm really happy for you guys. I look forward to obviously the more announcements and then more new music. So everyone just keep an eye on Drowning Pool. They got some killer stuff coming up. Thank you. I appreciate it. Had a great time chatting with you. I look forward to watching you rock out tonight. It was super cool, man. It was super cool. Hey, that's what we go for here on Super Cool Radio. I got an incredible guest joining me at this time. Saliva recently released a brand new album entitled Revelation on September 8th, and currently they're on a co-headline tour with Drowning Pool. Please welcome the lead vocalist of Saliva, Bobby Amaru.
Hello, everybody. watching.
Well, it's very nice to have you on the show. It's actually my first time seeing Saliva live, and I get to interview you. So it's gonna be a great night.
Awesome. Yeah, man. I'm stoked to be here. We've played this room before. It's a great room. A lot of history here. So it's stoked to be here again.
No, definitely. And just Joliet in general. I got to, before the show, I was on Route 66. Got some great ice cream. At the Rich and Creamy, which is like a historic
place. Or
historic stop on Route 66. I was going to go to the Illinois Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, that's still under construction, so that's across the street. But
maybe next time.
Yeah, hopefully next time. But before we dive in, I know we got to talk about the new album. We got to talk about the current tour. Before we do that, a fun question I've been asking my guests this season: if you could have dinner with any two musicians throughout history, living or deceased, who would they be?
Oh man, let me think about that real quick. Who I could have dinner with?
Yeah,
let's go one living and one non-living.
Okay, sounds good.
I think one living would be Dave Grohl. I think that would be cool. That'd be a good one.
Yes.
And then one deceased would be Ronnie Van Zant, maybe from Skinner.
Okay, right on.
Yeah,
two very different but great musicians. I love it. Two great answers. Well, real quick for me, I would go Lemmy from Motorhead and Alice Cooper.
Well, maybe a good one.
Yeah,
I've met Lemmy though.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, at the Rainbow Room. Yeah.
Oh, nice. When was that?
Maybe 10 years ago.
Oh, okay, right on.
10 or 11 years ago. Actually, maybe longer. But he would sit there and he would just like play the
slots
and stuff there and whatever. And he was cool, man. He was great, super nice. Took picture. I got a picture with him and everything.
Oh wow, that's cool. Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, I've been really getting into Motorhead lately. That's like my working out music is listening to Motorhead.
Yeah.
Right. You get a lot of running done when you listen to Motorhead.
Oh, he's about as real as it gets.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
that's very cool. That's a great moment for sure. But I do want to talk about focusing on Saliva. As I said, you guys released a new album recently entitled Revelation. How was it writing and recording this album?
The process was only supposed to be a kind of a short window. We had some ideas and we were going to record the record, and we started in 2020, and then the whole pandemic stuff started happening and it shifted our plans. And we kind of just started taking our time with the record, and blink, and 3 years later you're releasing it. It's like, holy crap, where did the time go? But no, it's good because I feel like we got songs out of that process that we wouldn't have gotten had we had the pandemic not happened. So I think everything happens for a reason. And but the whole making the record was, we recorded at my house and in Florida, and had it mixed by a guy in California, and we mastered it, and that's it.
No, right on. So, right.
A lot more in depth of making it, but I mean that's the skinny.
Yeah, no, I got you. So. But I do I listened to the album. I thought it was kind of you guys threw in some different elements that I didn't hear or if I haven't heard in a while from you guys. So I really did it. I think it's very. I know as you said, you guys took your time with it. I think that really helped. That you're able to refine and flesh out the ideas with the songs. I think I really enjoyed the album.
We felt like that with some of the previous records that I had done. It's almost like we tried to do something different each record. And with this record, all we tried to do was just how can we evolve the sound and kind of take it to the next level. And we knew we wanted to get back in touch with radio and stuff and Octane, and we didn't want to. It wasn't like we were oh, we got to sound like Octane band or whatever. It was more like we need to make this stuff feel fresh and feel like it could blend in, on that format. And that was the thing. And it was actually fun to get creative and making a record. That's what it's all about. So.
Oh, exactly. It should be a fun and creative process. If you're not enjoying it, then it makes the art suffers,
right?
For sure. But I am curious. Do you have a favorite song off the new album?
I have a couple. Okay. I like "How to Be Human." song, yeah, it kind of hits home with just when I was writing it a couple years ago, just the state of the world, man. And you're just watching, turn on, Facebook or social media or whatever, and everything's
The world's
riot
on
here,
fire.
right? Yeah, it was crazy. So that song just kind of, I had this idea of, I want to be a good human. I want to be, a good person. I always try to, treat people with respect, no matter what. And I felt like at the time people just were not respecting each other. And it was a lot of like, just hate and a lot of that stuff. And it's something we're always probably going to deal with. But I was like, I just wish people could be a better human, and that's kind of how that whole thing came about. And with some like, AI twist and stuff, but with and then there's another song called Horizon on the record. That's the last track on the record, and that one was one that Wayne and I particularly worked on a lot. And lyrically, it's about losing somebody. So I think like with the past, when he passed in March, that song just had more meaning to me. But yeah, those are probably my two favorite.
Oh no, Ryan, two really great songs, and the meanings behind them as well, and how the meanings change, obviously, as life progresses with all that as well, and with Wayne's passing as well. How has the band been like moving forward with that?
I mean, I don't know that you ever really. I think time doesn't wait. I think it's just how do you figure out how to do this, and he's not really a guy you can forget about, and he's somebody that I shared 12 years with, and we were very close, and you don't ever get over that. You just try to just relive those fun times and those memories, and keep those memories. And I have a lot of them from making this record and stuff. And I remember one in particular was really funny. Like, there's a song called How to Live, and it's this bendy thing on the riff. And I swear to you, he plugs the guitar in and he's like, all right, I got this idea. And he goes and he bends the string and it just pops right there. Like literally one bend in. That was it. I was like, that sounds like a great song, man. Let's do it. So just stuff like that is really funny. And, so I always have those memories, man. And, keep them close, and just honor him the right way. And I'm really, this is a band I've been in 12 years, and worked my ass off, and worked really hard and grind every night to try to deliver a great live show and with the songs, and try to connect with people who listen. And that's it. That's all I ever did. And Wayne was a huge part in all that, so.
Oh no, for sure. I know. I don't talk about too many heavy topics on this on the show. I try to keep it light and and fun, but I appreciate it. And I just saw, like, when I heard the news that he passed away, just all the support I saw on my feed for like the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah,
with all the stories people shared, it was incredible to see.
Yeah, he was an incredible guy, man. He was, and that's why all that outpour was like that for him. If he was not a good dude, you don't receive those kind of stuff, So I think shows a lot about who he was, and yeah, people will always remember him. So
exactly. Now I just want to touch on one more thing, then we wrapping this up soon, because I know you have to get ready. I heard some of the sound check. It sounds incredible. It's going to be a killer show tonight. I heard you guys had a killer show in Detroit on a Monday. That's what Ryan was telling me.
A lot of these shows have been great, actually, man. We've had like a bunch of sold out shows, and tonight's almost sold out. I think it's like
or very close. It's very close, I believe, from what I've heard.
Yeah. So it's been. I mean, what more could you ask for when you're doing a tour? It's awesome. So
I mean, the package is just so killer. You got Any Given Sin, Adelitas Way, you guys, Drowning Pool, like all 4 of those bands are bangers. Yeah, like, any given day.
All the bands have been great, man. It's been fun, hanging out with all these guys. And Drowning Pool, I've known a long time. It's good hanging out with them too. So
yeah, for sure. So my question for you, what is like the set? Give me any hints of like what the set's going to look like tonight for Saliva?
Oh, there's just, you got new and old. You gotta play the old. Playing the new. You want to try to play the songs that you feel like people know. And then you throw a new song in there that they might not know, but maybe it's something that they may like or enjoy. So we're playing 4 new songs right now. So,
Right on. What are the 4 off the new album?
Yeah,
Okay.
off the new record. Yeah.
Give me hints what those 4 are.
Well, we're playing the 3 singles, which are Crows, High on Me, Come Back Stronger, which is the latest one, and the other one's surprising. I can't really give that.
All right. Well, I'll be
It's
sticking around the whole night.
A hidden gem,
I'll be here the whole night, so I'll find out soon enough.
Right.
But for you, do you have a favorite Saliva song to perform live?
I always say that I've always liked doing Your Disease. I've been liking I Walk Alone lately. It's been fun.
Oh, that's in the set. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
A lot of WWE fans.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That was one of those songs that in all my years with the band would probably get the most requests for was I Walk Alone, where people would always say, man, I was hoping to hear that song, or that's how I discovered the band was through that. Finally, it was like, man, we got to start playing this. So we put it in the set. We started last year playing it. So.
All right. It sounds like it's going to be a killer show, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I heard Drowning Pool is headlining for this show. Okay, so you guys are... So I've heard from what Ryan told me, you guys, it's always like you hate to follow the other one because the other one puts on a great show if you're the headlining band. Is that true?
Yeah, they're a hard act to follow for sure. He's a great frontman too, but I like that. And I love that because it's like it makes me like want to be on my A game.
100%, 110%. Yeah.
But we flip flop every night on this tour, and it gives us each band the chance to go out and get done a little early and go to the merch and kind of hang out with the fans and stuff too. And so it's good to do that. It just keeps it fair and fun.
Oh no, for sure. But last question, let me wrapping this up. What is like the rest of this year, 2023, looking like for Saliva and early 2024?
So we currently, the record just dropped, and we are wrapping this tour up end of October. Take a little time off. May do a run in December. I do know that they're working on some international stuff for early next year, and some spring stuff too for the States, another run and tour. And we're already on a few selected festivals already. We can't talk about them, but there's already a handful of those.
Oh, right on. Well, I look for all the announcements. Everyone make sure to keep up with Saliva on social media and anywhere you get your news, because it sounds like you got some great things in the works.
Yeah.
For sure. But make sure to check out new album Revelation, currently out right now. Do you have any physical copies?
Yep, we have vinyl,
Awesome.
we have CDs, we've got a bunch.
Oh, awesome. So also make sure to see them live because it's going to be a kick-ass show tonight. But Bobby, thank you so much for hanging out with me here on Super Cool Radio. I had a fantastic time chatting with you.
Thank you.
So for Bobby of Saliva, I'm your host always, Matthew Thomas. Thank you so much for watching and listening to Super Cool Radio. And remember, stay frosty.